and welcome to this Flash tutorial where we will learn to make this. Here it is again. Well, as you can see, it's made of this movie clip here of these scissors, and this is a piece of animation lifted from my cartoon I'm working on. Here is what it's made of. It's 2 layers. This is the first one, and here is the second one. I'm removing this little bit at the end here because this bit here at the end, it kind of just doesn't really work well with the shadow. It's made out of this little asset here. I drew it in Flash and everything. So back to the stage here, we're gonna remove these things that I've already done, but we're gonna keep this background. It's really simple. It's really just this shape here. So we're gonna get our animation. We're gonna place it right here, and that's so that when it's at the part of it at the left. Give me a sec. Let me just change that to a graphic so you can see it in the timeline. When it gets over to here and more so over here, you can still see it on the screen. And you can see we've removed the last bit. You'll not have it up here on the timeline. When you start, you're gonna have to go over here and press F5 to make the whole thing a frame. This is like a 1 keyframe thing as well. So we're gonna get this here and we're gonna copy this frame. Just go to right click, copy frames. Go here to the other layer and go right click, paste frames. And we've got this here. We're gonna hide and lock this layer. Actually wait, maybe it's a better idea to try into outlines. Yeah, that's better. So now we're going to make this layer really squished. I could have just put the rotation point at the very bottom there so I wouldn't have to move it down like this, but I just didn't. For some purposes this is fine. It kinda is pretty okay, but I'm going to go in here and I'm going to adjust it a little bit, and then I'm going to slant it, and I'm going to move it back up. Now that, I think, looks far better. And because this is all on one plane here, the entire animation, when it does touch the ground, the shadow will touch there too. But this isn't a very good help because it's the same color. It's like a phony mirror at the bottom, so instead we're going to go to brightness and we're going to make it all black like this. And I would try to make it not completely black and make it a little less opaque, but that doesn't really work because the outlines are more opaque than the fills. So we're gonna just export here. I'm going to, this is a previous attempt. So we're gonna make a new folder, scissors 2. Electric Boogaloo. And we're going to go into it and I'm gonna name my file. So I'm gonna talk about why I'm exporting to an image sequence because I wouldn't recommend you do this. I would normally not recommend an image sequence at all, but I'm on Linux, I'm running this in Wine. That's why this dialogue doesn't look like it will for you exactly. But the premise is the same and it's laid out the same, so it's still a good instructional video, but you can tell I ran this in Wine on Linux. I'm just not able to export to anything else this way, so that's the reason. I'm going to cut and see you when this is exported, and I'll show you the final product. As you can see, this gave a pretty nice end product, and it's a really easy thing that you can do with any movie clip that doesn't really move on the Z-axis. If it moves only on the X and Y axes, it's good to go. And of course you can't really move on the Z-axis in Flash, but if it's like meant to look that way, the shadow won't account for that, obviously. Goodbye!